Sports Studios, Scotland. All is to It's time for the third podcast.
So, another little podcast with Paul and Roscoe.
No UFC this weekend.
Nah, it was a quiet week for MMA. Did you watch any of the actual sporting events? Like we had the boxing, we had Liam Gallagher trying to struggle his way through some songs. We had Anthony Joshua.
Trying.
Looking a bit flat. I didn't watch the whole fight. He got put down twice.
Oh no, it was 4.
What was it? Twice in one round?
Aye.
Was it second round he got put down?
Right at the end of the first, I think.
Was it the first?
Aye.
It just wasn't a
Just walking forward with his hands here.
good night for him, was it?
Strange.
And then ultimately he got a bit horny. Did you see him with that? He banged him, bump, and then was like, "Oh yeah,
I thought, I'm back in here."
Let's fucking dance, and it resulted in him just getting fucking.
I don't know what happened there. He was mega favourite Anthony Joshua with the bookies. Daniel Dubois was like 4.5 to 1 to win by KO, and then just dominates the fight. So,
do you think it's because he's not a name, rather than when you think about it? People tune in to watch guys like Anthony Joshua and they're like, right, I don't know who he's fighting against, so Anthony Joshua must be getting the rub here.
aye, I would say so. And I think the big thing was Dubois got accused of quitting against Joe Joyce. Was it Joe Joyce? I'm sure it was. He had a fractured eye socket and he just took the knee and let the ref count him out. And in boxing, that's like a no way. It's just, I don't know, they sort of blackball you for doing stuff like that. So I think everybody thought Daniel Dubois was shite and no a 250-pound monster who like walk forward throwing hammers at your head. Good for him. I hope he's made a lot of money.
So they made a lot of money. He's obviously going to hit that rematch clause. I seen Eddie Hearn talking about it. Like
96,000 people. That's that's mad. Stadiums are like...
So I think it works better for him with a loss, because looking forward, we're obviously going to get Tyson Fury against Usyk again. They hit the rematch clause as well. And then I hope, well, I don't hope, but to see Joshua fight Fury, that's how this needs to go. Usyk needs to batter Fury again, and Joshua needs to get battered again, and then they two then can have a fight and we can have this big British matchup. So like, who's the heavyweights?
Turkey Al-Sheikh.
This guy.
He is just going like, nah, regardless of what happens with Fury Usyk, I want to see Fury Anthony Joshua. So he just does it.
He's got the money.
All these guys have lost fights now, so nobody cares. Or, well, Usyk's not lost at all, I don't think, but Dubois lost, Joshua's lost, Tyson Fury's lost.
Do you think they ever seen a change in boxing? Because remember, for a long time, like, people weren't interested in watching.
It's been forced to change, eh?
I think forced to change. It's been a long time coming, and I think this guy, Big Tuck, he is kind of making this happen. He's got the money. He's fucking just bankrolling, throwing money at everything.
Did you see Conor McGregor at the side of the ring having a great night? So he was.
So we spoke about this last week about him like saying, oh, he's stuck in this contract, he's asking to get out of it. Like, if you're interested in fighting, then you're not going to be jumping about like a fucking tit with a cigar, an unlit cigar in your mouth,
sunglasses on
inside, and
in the
dark
dark.
Your fucking silk suit.
I've no drank a sugar diamond brew for years. This is all right.
Is it the guy? But is MD else bored with Conor McGregor? Is it just me?
He just turns up to everything, eh? Goes to everything. He's always around.
Just keeps being part of the pop culture by being
keeping
a
his cell in
player.
there, eh? Got to keep his cell in there. That's it, because he's not fighting.
Aye. You'll never see him again. 2 fights less than left in his contract. He's talking shit like he wants to fight both fights next year. He's like, I'm going to fight both of these fights next year. And then he was talking about getting some of that BKB money. He was trying to go bare knuckle boxing.
And he was telling Usyk to come to his Marbella event and that, eh? This was very funny. He basically just corners Usyk afterwards. He's like, come over to BKB, Marbella next month.
Fuck you about Conor McGregor.
Conor tweeted this today. It's basically just a screenshot of an email saying that he's returned a negative test sample. But the caption is, most tested athlete on the UFC roster. I deserve my fight date.
You're not going to see him. He's jumping about like a tit.
I don't think you're training if you're acting like that.
I think he's found a way to get round about the drug testing. They're only testing piss. They're doing spot blood tests. They're not taking vials upon vials of blood out of this person.
Have you had a test with the new?
Yes, I've had multiple
How different
tests.
is it?
Pretty much the same thing. They take your piss, they take your blood, and they disappear. But it's now a wee spot check. They put a little thing on your arm, and it just draws like a couple of like blood samples. So I don't know the ins and outs of it, but there must be a way of getting round about it. And I'm not saying Conor McGregor is on.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's staying in
drugs, but there's a good chance he's probably on recreational drugs. And I'm not sure what the
in my humble nightclub doorman opinion. Aye, so he's partying, eh?
So is that, can the Anti-Doping Association catch that? I'm imagining they can, because it's frowned upon in all sports. You think about football, you think about basketball players.
Oh, aye.
How are they not catching Conor McGregor when everybody can see and go,
He looks like he's having a good time.
if it looks like shit, smells like shit, there's a good chance when you stick it in your gob, it's going to be shit.
I don't know. It's popular though, these events. Everybody's watching, talking about it. They're doing almost 100,000 people through the door. There's something there. There's an appetite for it. In Britain, I think when it's British boxers, people come out for it.
Where would you put Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury if you could get it?
Got to be Wembley.
It needs to be a biggie, man.
Aye.
It needs to be a biggie.
Those stadium ones are the one compared to like arenas. Arenas are an American thing, but stadiums, especially for the ball. I don't know.
And that's the thing, it has to be in Britain.
I'd love to see the UFC do a stadium. That'd be good. But I don't know if they're going to draw 96,000 people out.
What about do you want to see the Sphere again?
Aye.
Quite a lot of people are talking about the
What does the Sphere
American
hold?
independence.
What's the Sphere hold?
I imagine that's a sphere capacity.
18. So that's about the same as like the Hydro and that.
Right, so it's not that big. I mean, you're obviously getting it's a spectacle.
It's mad with 18,000 people. It's still the biggest gate. Eh? This shows you how fucking expensive a tickets were.
Aye.
Who could the UFC do a stadium show? Who could they build it around?
Conor McGregor.
But if he's not going to come back,
People
because I'm
are
assuming
not-
they're going to want a champion for it.
Aye, people are only going to want to see him fight.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think people are kind of getting bored of him.
Did-
I could be wrong. Like, fire in the comments if you think I'm wrong. Like, say to me, no. If there's guys out there who are excited to see Conor McGregor turn, maybe 5 years ago, people were buzzing to see Conor McGregor. Everything about MMA was Conor McGregor. It's changing. I think it needs to be something like John Jones. We've still got a wee bit of pull with John Jones. I don't think there's very many other guys who could fill a stadium. John Jones maybe versus Potan.
Tom. Oh, aye.
Potan. And I'm not looking over Tom,
No.
but I think they two are superstars.
What if Taporia beats Max? Would they do him in Spain?
Taporia.
beats Max.
That's been the talk, eh? And he wants that as well.
I know he wants it, but
Is that at Real Madrid stadium, aye? Is that what he wants to do?
I don't think it does anything for the brand. It maybe helps Taporia in Spain, but as the UFC, it's not really a place to be going. If you want to do that, then you do it in somewhere like they're hitting Paris this weekend, and the headliner isn't a superstar. We've got Saint Denis in it, and I don't think to have like a champ like Taporia fighting in somewhere like Spain, that doesn't.
I know.
I don't think Europe gets excited for that.
I don't think Spain does.
No, like you're going to have to get people travelling.
I know.
So you're going to have to have UK flying into Spain, all this kind of stuff. So that's why I'm like, I can't see that happening.
And when one side's a boy who's Hawaiian, you're going to go to Spain to watch that? Yeah, up for that.
Max Holloway.
No, I'm meaning if Taporia beats Max.
Oh,
and
sorry, my
then
mistake.
would make him
Right, what
a bigger
about
star than he
what
already
about
is.
this?
You have to have somebody big opposite him.
Right, what about this? 225, we have Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway.
I think that is what's going to happen
for the BMF.
I think that's probably the road we're going to go down here, eh? It's the only real way to get Conor McGregor back.
Fought before, Max was a young up-and-comer.
Oh, they both were. They were both new guys. But I watched 2 interviews for fighters at the weekend. I watched Conor McGregor with Ariel Helwani jumping about being mental.
He always gives Ariel the interviews.
Loves him, eh?
Aye, I like that.
But doesn't like Joe Rogan. Aye. And I watched Tyson Fury. You seen any of this?
No.
Oh, mate, it's sad. They're like, how are you, Tyson? He's like, fucking terrible. Life's been shit. And they're like, are you being sarcastic? He's like, nah, telling you the truth. He's like, don't know what to do with myself. Worst thing ever happened to me. Got 100 million in the bank. And I'm just like, my life's horrible. He's like, I'm not happy. I was like, this guy, like, do you remember he did this before? And he kept reaching out in the media.
He ended up super fat and then ended up slimming all the way down.
And saying like, I'm depressed and I need help. Hey, this isn't the life for me. It's not what I thought it was going to be.
It's not the media's job to provide him with help.
No.
That should be like a family thing. His wife has to see him in the house.
It was sad.
His family have to see him in his day-to-day elements. And then it's a case of, right, now they must provide him with help.
It's the dark side of it, eh? I'm seeing more and more of it as well.
It comes to us all, man. There's days I like see after fights, like see that last fight.
You were speaking to somebody no longer, I didn't want to say their name, but they're a boxer. And you could tell so clearly his speech is slurred. And I was like, fucking hell, that's a bit. Like, I don't know if you know who I mean, but I'll tell you after. But I was like, fucking hell, does he know he's doing that?
Like people always say like MMA is much worse than boxing. I don't think so. Like there's so many different elements to get a finish in MMA.
Aye, and you're getting hit.
Boxing's repeatedly just head, a body, bum, 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 and you just end up. And these guys end up cans basically.
Well, we got boxing related deaths. It's about 13 a year now, I think.
I've read 2,000.
I read a book
related.
called It's like called Dog Rounds or something like that. Oh, it was awful. All about guys dying boxing. 9. That's all right.
That's for sanctioned boxing matches.
No, so this is MMA, sanctioned MMA. There's only been 20 recorded, as opposed to boxing, which was over 2,000.
It's difficult to put a number on that because there's so many organisations out there that are fucking shit.
None in the UFC though, which is quite surprising. You'd have thought something would have happened. Eh? I thought Tony Ferguson was dead when Michael Chandler kicked him in the face.
Kicked him, man.
Aye, that was one. But I don't know. Slow week for MMA. Conor McGregor trying to steal the headlines like he always does. And we've got UFC Paris coming up, which I'm not seeing anything about it. Not seeing much on social media about it.
No.
Nobody seems bothered about it.
Mike Cano, he's a really good grappler. And I think that's how this fight's going to go. I think it's going to be a like grappling match.
Do you think there's a bit of a hangover for the Sphere still? With the co-main and the main no living up? Do you think people are just a bit like, meh, can't he be arsed with it now?
Maybe. Aye.
Because like, people are just...
You tuned in to watch this, you spend like 5 hours of your day to watch this, and...
People are still a bit down about it, eh? It does seem that way. Especially, normally you've got something happening start of the week, people are getting excited, they're talking about something, and it's just like, meh, don't know.
I think it's probably a good thing for them then that their next event is in Paris, because the last 2 Paris events, the crowd have really made it very special and made it much more of an event. So it seems like they're going to come back with a wee bit of a bang. And the card as well is pretty good.
Aye, like that main event, I'm not mad at it. It's basically going to be a straight switch. I don't know why you wouldn't put Brendan Allen at the main event.
Aye.
I think that's like a great fight. I hope Brendan Allen does it. And obviously it's got implications for moving up there because it would look like a straight swap for the two if Allen wins.
Aye, it would be aye. Surely. And then Allen's maybe just like somebody falling out for a title fight and gets the shout.
Would you like to see him versus the other guy I fought?
Barao. He's asked for him, eh?
Has he?
Barao's saying he's up for fighting him. He's saying he's up for fighting anyone, to be fair to him.
And then with the rest of the card, I don't know MD apart from Chris Duncan versus.
Oh, so he's opening it.
I think this guy's a striker. This is like none of the two of these. This fight ends with somebody going out in their shield, unless we see a different Chris Duncan, a Chris Duncan that comes in and remember he used that grappling cage and held him against the cage and won the fight that way. Unless we see that Chris Duncan, but that fight somebody's going to him with a set that night. I
think Chris will try and win all 3 rounds, whereas before he was just coming out and stiffening people.
I mean, I think
he's a bit smarter.
I hope he gets the victory, and I hope he does it in spectacular fashion that we're used to seeing for Chris Duncan.
Aye. I'd like to see him just come out and go, fuck it.
Aye.
Let's have a fight.
Chris Duncan, let's
start scrapping.
But no, I hope he smashes it. But it's going to be one of the ones. The only person that's going to win that fight is the fans. Fans are winning that fight because that's going to be a fucking
Chris Duncan, the story of CTE.
I know. Do you know any of these other fighters?
No. I don't.
Just guys.
Oh, 𝗟𝗘𝗏𝗑.
Oh, aye.
I don't know who he's fighting though. Ivan Erslan.
Is he like they've just pulled him in?
Croatian.
Let's see this young up and comer. 10-1. Is that his record? Can you zoom in a wee bit?
I can't see that small writing.
It's 14-3.
And he's not, I'm assuming he's not fought in the UFC before because he's not got a actual...
Not got a picture.
Not got a picture.
10 wins by KO.
What show was that he came for? Can you get his fight card up? His actual... See if you can get him on like Sheerdog or Tapology or something like that. Just to see where he's been fighting. Oh, he looks like he's no missed.
He looks that type of guy, yeah.
KSW.
Oof.
Interesting.
Good organisation.
Yep. Is he fought MD? Let me see.
He might have a name on there.
You know fought him, Paul?
Luis Henrique de Silva. I think I did.
He was your first. He was your first fight in the UFC.
I know, but there's another one, isn't there?
Yeah,
there's another.
He's a heavyweight one.
There's another Henrique. So I possibly.
Who was that under there? That Thomas Narkin, was he not the light heavyweight champ actually?
For KSW?
I'm sure Phil de Vries fought him.
Aye, we'll get Big Phil on. I think we're going to take a wee trip down to see the boys.
Aye.
But I hope it's an amazing card, and it's going to be at a reasonable time. I wish we could all sit and watch it as a team and have the fans interact with us. But we've got some other pressing matters to be happening.
Stuff on.
We've got stuff to do, boys.
I know.
We've got stuff to do.
But like I say, I feel like that's the sort of the UFC bit and the boxing bit out the window, and it just feels a bit flat. Like it's a bit like, nah.
Talking about the old boxing, did you see Dana White had put on that show with the King? What's his name?
Callum Walsh.
Callum Walsh. Put on that promotion. Obviously, it was all over the UFC's page because they're doing this. It was Dana White that's promoting it. And then he came out and says, that's me, I'm in the world of boxing now. He's going to start pushing it.
He was at your fight at the Apex. The boxer. What's his name? Walsh.
They're giving him the rub as well, aren't they?
Aye. So what's that? He just wants to take over combat sport? Dana White is just...
But then, see, here's the thing with boxing. Like, they don't get paid great money unless you're the top guy.
I hear this with guys who do MMA all the time. They're like, I'm going to go across to boxing and make more money. You're no. You're going to make more money in MMA at the start.
Have you ever been involved in an accident and you've had to deal with the insurance company? You've had to deal with the other person's insurance company. They're deciding to drag their heels. They've not been in contact with an insurance company. If you have been involved in this, you know it's an absolute nightmare to deal with. So why not take all that stress, all that pain, all that time, because time is money, why not pass that on to G4 Claims? And G4 Claims will make sure that you're entitled to 100% of your claim. They'll also give you a courtesy car, your whole claim. Ross, where can we hit these people up?
You can phone them, 01698 767 172. You can get them on the same number for WhatsApp. You can get them at notatfaultclaim.com. And you can also get them at the link in our bio.
It makes sense if you have been involved in a non-fault accident that you hit up G4 claims. I've warned you, Ross has warned you, it makes sense. But also, if you have been involved in an accident and maybe you were a passenger, like as a taxi or in a bus, you can also hit up G4 claims and they will massively help you. So do not suffer in silence. Get in touch with G4 claims.
Kicking the boxing thing around for a while.
So he's just going to try and...
Well, he did
was he a boxing promoter before he was the UFC?
What did he get? Why did he have to leave Boston? He got told somebody just approached him and said he owed him money or something, to do with a boxing gym. He trained at a boxing gym or just like worked out there. And then these guys just came and were like, aye, you owe us money.
I don't know how true this is, but I remember seeing some stuff that it was maybe like mob related as well.
Aye.
So I don't know if that's anything to do with it.
It's probably a rough place. And then he just fucked off to Vegas.
And then falls in with the Fratier brothers and gets a company bought and...
Just makes things happen, eh?
Aye. Like, it was the best thing that happened to the UFC.
Aye. He is. He is the face of it, eh? But he's definitely more refined now in what he's saying. Now that they're publicly trading, eh? He's a bit more... He's reeled it in a wee bit. Unless it's John Jones.
Do you think it's a good thing that he's moving to boxing? Or do you think he takes his eyes off the prize with MMA?
I don't know. I think his MMA product is that good, eh? Because it's the best one by miles. There isn't a comparable event you're going to watch. So do you want him dividing his time? Or who knows how much?
He's probably got it like a well-oiled machine as well, hasn't he?
I would think so. He'll have this sussed. It's maybe just something else for him to do. I don't know. He's got fed up of trying to take down the other organisations. He's just going to have to start doing something else.
He's already consumed him, hasn't he? Like what we got, Bellator had to get sold to PFL, and there's no one else that really comes close.
Aye, one in Asia, but
let's be genuinely honest. Even if you think about the ones in Asia, China, Japan, all these kind of places, I don't think it makes that much of a difference. I think when you look at UFC, it's a big promotion. It's everything. It's not just...
The gap is huge, eh? Between first and second place, it's massive.
And I think it's a good thing to have two horses in a race rather than just one that's just running away with it. It just makes the sport better. But Dana White's got it to a point where he's just like, nah, I've cornered this. You want to fight? You want to be the world level fighter? There's only one place you can come to. And I'm no shitting in any other promotion.
I bet there's a lot of fans who exclusively watch UFC
and
will not tune into any other promotion.
Yep, I agree.
Probably true.
There's probably people who would maybe jump across. Like, I think this weekend we've got Masvidal's one of his shows.
His is a bare knuckle show though, eh? It's a little bit different.
Like, so people probably are going to tune in to watch like, oh, I love Gamebreed, he's my guy, he's pure street. And I think they'll maybe jump across to watch something that they are involved in, like maybe Pettis in the PFL fights. Did you watch any of that kind of stuff, Craig? As like jump across and watching Stevie Ray fight Anthony Pettis in the PFL fights?
I'll tend to jump across if there's like a big name involved.
People maybe tune in.
I watched a couple of these purely because they were bare knuckle. And I was like, oh, what's going on here?
So it's just bare
something
knuckle.
different, aye. MMA with knee gloves. That's it. Wee bit of tape on the wrist.
Did he do a bit of grappling in it as well?
Aye. Okay. Aye, can do everything. That Maurice, there's guys who are in the UFC who are in that now.
They're just, it's like a stopping point for you.
I don't know how much money they get doing it.
Did you see Masvidal had made like a tweet? He'd saying that he's wanting to come back to fight Leon Edwards. You know what? There's still some unfinished business there.
3-piece in the soda. You all right with people doing that and then getting a fight with it?
Well, it's taking him a bit of time.
It's a long time ago now, eh?
I know. Did you find the tweet there? No, he was saying that he wants to, he's coming out of retirement. I think he's been saying it for a while. And he's talking about fighting Leon Edwards. That's what he's looking for. I think he was like calling him a bitch and all that.
Try to goad him.
Aye.
I like it. I'd be up for that, actually.
Do you think it's a good move for Leon? Like, he's just lost the title. Do you think he gets an automatic fight?
If I was Leon Edwards, I'd be like, I'll batter him, eh? I'll just smash him. Aye, he took the piss out of me through the back, made a cunt of me. Everybody started calling me 3-piece in a soda. I'm definitely fighting him. Like, bring him out here right now.
Aye. I think he beats I think he beats Masvidal.
Aye.
Like,
I think he
easily handles him.
massacre him.
And I think it's a big fight for Leon. Like, if I'm Edwards or I'm his management, I'm going to be like, right, how do I get...
I hadn't heard about this. Now straight away I'm like, aye, tell me a bit more. I want to know more about this. When? Where about?
Aye.
Is Leon up for this?
Like, Leon Edwards, is he going to get an automatic title fight
rematch.
against Bilal? Probably not. It's probably going to be, who's your...
Shavkat.
He's probably going to get it. So let the boys have a wee hustle and just try and make as much money as you can. And I don't think fighting for a title is what's going to make you the most money, right? It's nice to get your title back and all that kind of stuff. But for him, let's have big fights. Let's have fights that fans tune into. And I think a fight with Masvidal would be the guy. Think about him against Diaz. It's an amazing fight.
Because the title holders now aren't interesting. Nobody cares about them. Nobody cares about fucking Merab. Nobody cares about that Umar going to fight him. Nobody's interested, and even DDP, everyone just slags him off because his style. Everyone just takes the piss out of him. I quite like DDP, but anybody watching it would be like, fuck's up with it. That guy's beating people. So none of these people are popular, and it's a shame. Like,
right, so you give Leon Edwards a wee Masvidal.
Aye, get people back in.
Mm-hmm. But the UFC aren't in that business. The UFC are in the business of, right, Leon, you're fighting fucking Shavkat now, or you're fighting you're fighting somebody, an up-and-comer. That's how it goes.
I like Pereira though. He's exciting.
So
John Jones is exciting. DDP's okay.
Pereira versus Khalil.
Aye.
Did you see Hingy going after him? What's his name? Sean Strickland going after Khalil. So
is this, they fell out before, eh?
Aye, I think
is this a new fallout again?
I don't know. I think he's just been making videos about calling him like a precious little bitch and all that kind of stuff.
Because he cried and that,
aye. He goes after him. I think he was in sparring.
So did he.
Aye.
Sat on Theo Vaughn's podcast, bawling his eyes out.
I think he's just like poking fun at him because he's a bit precious. Nothing. I just make stuff up.
Nah, it's true.
Somebody had sent me the video. I can't remember who it was.
Aye.
Somebody had actually sent me the video of him talking about Sean Strickland talking about Khalil Roundtree on the mats.
I've seen him doing it.
It's that one. Click on that one. Yep.
Little thick, a little bit too thick for me, but 20 pounds lighter, she looked like a supermodel. Anyways, amazing, sweet girl. Khalil walks up behind her to like show her move, and she makes like a sexual harassment joke. And it was hilarious. I laughed, the gym laughed, and then Khalil snaps on her. I'm like, dude, like this is like a sweet girl. Like she's joking. Calm down. Anyways, second incident. We're all training. I'm giving everybody a speech about like when you're on the mat, you need to go to the best motherfucker, try to take his head, take his spot. And I looked and I pointed at Khalil and I was like, and if I see you guys going Roundtree, I know you're being a bunch of because he's the softest guy on the mat. Anyways, guy storms off the gym, gets a little emotional. Or like the third time. Actually, the third time might have been a little up. He had this ex-girlfriend once, and I joked. I was like, Khalil, I hate on her too, and you were the better man, you know. But it was funny. It was like me and you were boys, you know. It was like camaraderie. And he goes to the UFC and complains like, this man is you guys have no concept who he is. If you met him, you would hate him. He sucks.
You'd hate him. He sucks.
Aye. So, aye. Khalil's, he's obviously calling out Khalil. I'm going to take his off because there's no coming through. That was coming through there. Bye. So he's obviously trained with
the UFC for saying stuff. That's fucking pathetic, to be fair.
Wife.
I'm not going to say nothing to him because if I see him at the PI, he'll just fucking take my head off. But because he does look quite mental, eh?
How do you think this fight goes?
What, if Strickland fights Khalil? Khalil fucking batter him to death.
You think Khalil's got it?
Kick the shit out of Sean Strickland. Like.
No Sean Strickland, I'm talking about
Pereira.
Mm-hmm.
I like sorry, Flemmy. I like I don't know. I like Khalil to do the job. I think he could.
But you're leaning towards Pereira.
Aye.
Pereira.
Aye, I think Khalil could get a bit flustered and Pereira maybe just drop him, eh?
See, we get Khalil who's like very like some of these, do you know like the version that turned up to fight?
I know what you're going to say.
The version that turns up, he's actually on the point. Who was it he fought? The UK Cage Warriors champion.
Oh, Modestus Magaukas.
That guy.
Fucking stamped his knee in it.
Khalil turns up. Does he win? I think so. I think you get any other Khalil.
He's up for a firefight as well.
He's in a bit of a tear. I mean, he did fight Anthony Smith in like a few days' notice. Anthony Smith fought him in a few days' notice. It wasn't like I don't think Anthony Smith had a full camp for that. And then I think he was touching him up, Anthony Smith, and then just got caught. I still want to see that fight, Jamal Hill. I still want to see that.
Aye, definitely. That's the way I thought it would end up going, but I didn't mind him going in this direction with it. I like Pereira Khalil. It's a good fight. You know what you're going to get. Probably a first round KO.
Would you be happy to see that at the Sphere?
Aye. Big fight.
Aye, that should have
big headline fight. Aye.
Headline fight. Aye, you're damn right.
Big American star, big Brazilian star.
Aye, what card is that on? They two fight. 307. That's a doozy of a card as well, isn't it, man? Where is that, Salt Lake City?
Is Aljamain Sterling out, injured now?
Aye, that's still off, so that's just hasn't been updated.
Aye, so we've got Altitude in Salt Lake City. So these two boys are going to be going toe-on-toe, man.
I think it's a one rounder, eh? I think they'll both come out, just start going, and it's 50-50. I think if Pereira just stays composed, doesn't he?
Khalil is tight, man. Everything's tight. He's got that nice wee Thai style he's got. Remember he came back from Thailand and he was doing all the
low kicks and everything.
I think he's good. And he works with, is it John Wood in it? Is he, because he's not, I know he's in
Syndicate.
Vegas. Aye.
Is that Syndicate MMA?
No, I think Syndicate's Strickland. I think, in it? No, that's Couture MMA. I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right, mate. Syndicate MMA, and I'm sure it's Big John Wood.
Because he's in the PI in the morning, and then I think he goes to Syndicate at night. I'm sure that's what he says his sort of routine is.
Like see the two gyms out in Vegas, like the two of them are fucking killing it, man.
5 minutes away from each other as well, eh?
And they've got all the best fighters in the world just congregating here.
You would though.
Aye.
If things were,
I mean, you're getting all your food from the PI, you're getting all your supplementation, getting all your personal training, getting all your PTs, like physical.
all your recovery.
And then you get to go in there and then bat some folk out.
And it's nice to just chill out there sometimes. Sit in the sauna, sit in the steam room, jump in the cold plunge. It would be the life for me if only I had stuck in. If only I had went to the gym more. It's too late now.
Aye, I'm thinking the same. See if I can make kids, I'd be there.
You just fuck off.
Those little suckers. Be like.
How are you getting on with heading towards your fight, dieting, and starting to get pissed off yet?
Well, I went to Kieran Reid's at the weekend.
All right.
Kieran Reid invited me over. He's one of the coaches at higher level. And what a cook he is. Got
For steaks.
Got the steak out, put on an absolute spread, corn in the cob, made mac and cheese, made these sweet potatoes, made normal potatoes.
Where's he stay?
East Kilbride. I'll send you his address and you can go and see him like you need a steak. Hydration is the key. I thought I'd treat myself after wrestling. A wee touch of fruit. But no, steak was delicious. He's invited me up a few times and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go this weekend. I deserve this.
What did you do? Just had food?
Aye, and then played some PlayStation. Played the Warhammer game.
Wait, just you and him?
No, that sounds like maybe kissed, maybe done some jiu-jitsu moves, and they get the baby oil out. He's at least a couple of thousand tubs. We did that. I think he was up as well. Kieran Smith, the boxer.
All right, aye.
So he was up.
I wasn't doing that.
I did get an invite, so I went, ate the steak. Tremendous. Woke up the next day.
Saturday, aye.
Sunday,
oh.
got a steak, woke up a kg heavier. So it's not good when you're in fight camp, but it was delicious. And I think it's just the fact that it was so rich. Everyone was was well basted, everything was well seasoned. It was, sometimes you need DVDs.
I thought you were cutting out the meat for making weight.
No, I'm on the meat. This whole camp is, the whole reason we went in the meat was to make middleweight more achievable. So when we went, so the reason we added in yogurt and eggs and milk into the diet as a middleweight, because it was like, right, we need that. We need some sort of good
fill
quality,
you up a bit.
We need some sort of good quality protein, and that was the one that I had sort of agreed on. And then after that last fight camp, I was constantly hungry. I was constantly crab. I was constantly not having the right, let's say, fibre wasn't as good as it could have been. And Lee's like, listen, you need to go on the meat if you want.
Because you were eating substitutes or meat substitutes,
aye. So they've obviously got added sodium, added calories. Most of them are carbs. Beans are like a massive carb. So if I'm having like let's say it was like some sort of curry and I'm putting beans in it, so I'm having rice and beans, and it just means I'm getting more carbohydrates
than you need.
Aye. So it made sense to do it, and I trust the guys around about me. But the old meat's been magic, man.
But everything's on track. Everything's good.
Everything's all good. Training, we've got a Serbian boy coming over to the gym, a Serbian MMA fighter. He's coming over to train at a higher level. So he's going to be a massive...
To like live there?
He's going to, him and his coach, two of them are going to come out. We're going to get some good rounds. So it's ideal.
A middleweight, Oh, good.
So he's going to probably be the same weight as me currently. And I've also got Sean Clancy, and I've got another few guys who have been coming in and helping me.
I need to get back, I've neglected it badly, like... That's been like a month.
It's easily done, man.
See, once you get out of the habit, you're just like...
fuck it,
I don't know if I miss it. But I'm starting to get it back now. Yesterday was the first day I was like... I do miss it, like... But I hadn't, in all honesty, I hadn't missed it.
No.
For when I fought, I was just like, man, don't know if I care anymore.
But this weekend, we've got the PFL. You got that card up?
It's ready with it and everything.
What a guy. Let's go. So we've got Gemma Auld, which is her first fight in the PFL, and her first pro fight. She was an absolute outstanding amateur. Racked up loads of different belts. Came from Ayrshire MMA, Ayrshire Hit Squad, sorry.
Ayrshire Hit Squad.
And then she's moved up to higher level. She's still teaching. And
she's had a couple of changes the opponent, I think.
It's a bit difficult.
There has been a lot of changes on this card.
This card's changed massively. And then we've obviously got Pereira, who's another higher level guy, fighting a Welsh guy. I'm not sure what any of these guys are like. Hissy as well, he's been up training at a higher level. Mark Ewan as well, another higher level guy. If anybody's haven't seen the actual open map we did with him last week, you're missing it. It's been one of our...
I haven't stopped thinking about it.
I know. It's been one of my favourite open mats. I enjoyed Stevie Ray. I enjoyed the stories from Stevie Ray. But listening to this young guy and how...
I actually texted him the other night, and I was like, one specific thing he said, I texted him, I was like, I've not stopped thinking about that since you said it. It was just...
The amount of people who messaged me saying this podcast has been brilliant. We've had a lot of good. So if you haven't seen it, definitely go on and check it out. And we've got another open mat recording this weekend. So being
a special one.
I can't wait to see this one.
As someone who wasn't familiar with Mark, after filming that episode, I'm all in, 100% invested. Can't wait to watch his fight.
See, the thing is, I wasn't that familiar with him. Just a guy you see in the gym. All right, how's it going? See you later. Like,
I had seen a few of his clips. I'd seen a few clips from his interviews he's done, and I'd seen he's quite a methodical, quite a inspiring young guy, and I'm like, right, this guy's brilliant.
Mate, scroll down for a second there. That guy is a fucking lightweight.
Well, the guy with the fucking...
𝗟𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗛𝗏, I'm guessing.
What are they feeding him?
Suspicious.
Are they tested on the PFL?
Aye, and their whole light heavyweight division tested fucking positive.
Oh, that's right. I remember I was in Vegas for that. So Anaconda has been our partner from day dot. We are 100% behind this product, and the reason we are is because we believe in it massively. Whether it's a rash guard, their shorts, or any of their support braces, Anaconda's got your back, and Ross, hit us up with a deets.
You can get them at anacondafightwear.co or the link in our bio. Right now, they've got any 2 braces for $59. You can combo them up, get a knee, get an elbow, get a shoulder, whatever you want, and put in leather 10 at the checkout for 10% off.
No reason why you can't be on the mat. You can't be hitting it hard every day. Anaconda's got your back. Leather's got your back. Hit the links in the bio. And as always, keep it Anaconda. So, what other fights we got on this? He's definitely Polish, guy.
Aye.
Sorry, I'm fucking about this.
The lack of pictures is annoying.
I know. Come on, PFL, get your fucking...
Robert Whiteford's not got a picture.
You can get a picture of Robert Whiteford.
Lewis Long's not got a picture.
I'd seen PFL made a post and they were saying like Lewis Long started his MMA career before Stevie. It was like, say it was like 2008 and Stevie was like 2012 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So Lewis Long's been doing it for a while. I've trained with Lewis Long. He's a good judo guy, really, really good grips. This is an actual exciting fight.
He was a big guy at Cage Warriors, eh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he was big with Cage Warriors.
He's been about the scene for a long time, so I'm excited to see that fight. Robert Whiteford, like, he's always exciting. He's got power, had power in his hands. I don't know how well that transpires now as he gets a little bit older. So obviously a catchweight as well. He's decided, I'm not cutting weight.
That Huerta has been fucking battered his last few fights. So.
Is he?
Aye. So it's a good one for Robert Whiteford.
Just
go out there and
just
go out and smash him,
I
eh?
want all the Scottish guys to do well.
Aye.
And have we given away the tickets?
I think they're being announced this week.
This week.
Oh, lovely.
Good. So that's one of the PFL, and I hope everybody gets behind the Scottish guys and shows them love and support. And it's going to be like a spectacle of Scottish MMA. If you're sitting in the fence about going, I definitely would go to see Stevie Ray. It's probably going to be his farewell fight. We've spoken about that with him. Probably the same for Robert Whiteford. So to have them in Scotland for the last time, these guys are pioneers within the sport. So
it is nice,
get behind Scottish MMA. We'll put the link in the bio, and I hope you're excited for it as much as I am. What else been happening this week? What's been happening in the world of MMA?
I don't know. I feel I'm tempted to just swerve off the MMA because I don't know. I feel a bit, like I said there, everybody's a bit pissed off with this fear card, and it's like, we're trying to still say, look, it's really exciting, it's really good, and it's kind of went a bit flat.
But here's the thing: see when you don't have a weekend at MMA, what do you do? Like,
I know.
Like,
there's actually nothing to do
because our lives are so wrapped up in MMA. When it's not there, we just kind of like, bleh.
And then watch a bit of boxing. There was one good fight on it. Couldn't name another fight. I heard Liam Gallagher sang it. Tyson Fury said he was shit. That's the end of the matter. You start looking for people a bit of mental behaviour, eh? That's what you start thinking. You start thinking, like, when am I going to see something a bit, I don't know.
Did you see the video of Turkey
Then the
holding hands?
Oh, like that, I did.
Aye.
Know that you live in the world of conspiracies, Ross, but
well,
and then he flatlined.
the Sheikh wanted it. The Sheikh wanted AJ out of there.
Never mind, the tweet that I sent myself to bring it up has been taken down, so I can't even show you anymore.
What was it?
Why?
Was it him holding hands with the other guy?
I so remember the
It's
video.
like it's against the law in like these places like Saudi Arabia or Arab states to be holding hands with another man.
So there was this video
Homosexual.
of when they were of when the UFC was in Saudi, and he's walking around with Dana holding his hand, and he was just doing it again, the exact same thing with another guy in the boxing.
You know how I know you're gay.
Up to the Toon Centre and fucked off the highest building. That's what they do over there.
They
So they do it,
people,
aye.
don't they, as well?
Aye. I don't know if Saudi stone people. They definitely behead people. They did it not long ago for his birthday, actually. I think there's 12 or something like that.
They beheaded people for his birthday? Wow.
And so what actually happens...
Remember, this is Ross Cooper that's saying that.
No, it's true. You can bang into Google. It's 100% true. And the way they do it in Saudi is a van just pulls up and they take the boy out the back of it and then just fuck his head off. Honestly. Used to get all the videos on Live Leak.
I don't know how this isn't going to end well
Capital
for
punishment, Saudi.
I think I'd get flagged by
you.
IT for searching this. So
I'll do it on my own phone.
Because you don't get flagged.
Nah. I'll listen to voice notes for Dylan Took.
What's the man? This 𝗟𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗛𝗘𝗥 on in a few weeks, am I right?
He wants to smoke joints and drink whiskey.
Right, so I think the schedule is this week, undisclosed guest.
Undisclosed guest.
The week after, I think we've got 𝗟𝗘𝗥, and then the following week we'll have Sean Clancy. So we've got a few good open mats lined up.
Execution is legal punishment. Executions in the country being carried out by decapitation with a sword. Only country in the world to still use this method. 196 executions in 2022. Highest number in any country for any year over the last 3 decades.
Was that Saudi?
Aye. Big numbers of people that are fucking cutting their head off, like drug-related offences. They were cutting the head off people who had non-violent offences, but they've stopped that.
That's good.
Aye. They were executing juveniles, but they stopped that in 2020.
So this guy just gets...
this is 12 minors were threatened with execution in 2022. Let's look at mass executions.
What bit has it history?
Aye, we're going down a
January
rabbit hole here.
2nd, 2016, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia carried out a mass execution of 47 imprisoned civilians convicted for terrorism in 12 provinces. 43 were beheaded and 4 were shot by firing squad.
I couldn't think about doing that to somebody, like just fucking chopping their head off.
No, it's
How
horrible.
sharp's a knife?
It's a big, long, curved ceremonial sword. The boy wears black, and then he has to
right through?
Aye, just comes off in a winner, and then he has to wipe it on like his big hooscoat.
Are places like this like some of the safest places to live as well? And I'm
Aye,
assuming
because you
it's
get your
because of
fucking
fear
heat
of
cut off in the street.
the consequences.
I had been in Singapore, and that's like maybe one of the safest places. The streets are immaculate. You're not allowed to chew chewing gum, none of that kind of nonsense. Just everything's nice, crisp, clean looking.
So is that 𝗟𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗛𝗥 the king of Saudi? Is that like his title?
He's not the king. I think he's
just
like
the
the
dude with the
minister of
most money.
sports or something like that. Let me get his actual
Job title.
Aye.
And they just give him...
The boxing supremo.
They just give him presents of guys getting...
Saudi Arabian advisor at the royal court under the rank of minister and the current chairman of the General Entertainment Authority.
Who's the king? Can we see the king?
Surely it's a sultan.
Oh, Salman. He's very progressive. He lets women drive, mate. Did you know that?
88 years.
Aye. Same age as Joe Biden.
Wow.
Some boy. So I never realised that 𝗟𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗛𝗥 was a minister. I thought he was a royal, eh? Because they do call him His Excellency,
Aye,
which is fucking mental.
It's a bit fucked up, that part of the world, isn't it? For like,
Aye.
it's he who has the money.
I think the royal family over there is pretty huge as well. I knew a guy who was Scottish, but he'd lived in Saudi Arabia like his whole childhood, and like all through school, he said there was like maybe like 10 kids in his class, and all of them were like in the royal family. So the royal family is pretty huge.
It's big. I mind one of them came to, he said he was a Saudi prince. He'd like booked out the VIP in Shanghai, and he fucking ended up bouncing a tumbler off a lassie. You need to leave.
Was he the sheik?
Fuck knows, we got put out anyway. Big fat cunt. I'll never forget him, eh? This lassie was like, fuck off, and he just went, all right. Boom.
My friends moved out to Abu Dhabi to teach, and the presents they were getting was incredible. But they weren't allowed to accept certain prices. So they bought her a car, and she wasn't allowed to accept it. Like a brand new Mini, wasn't allowed to accept it because it was like above the threshold, and the guy who'd done it, or the sheik or whatever the fuck you want to call him, was like, this is an insult to me. I bought you this as a gift.
You'll take it.
I like we buy our teachers like a wee box of chocolates.
Aye.
Maybe like a flower.
My daughter makes her teacher a wee card at the end of the year. Very nice.
Piece of shit, hey? You know buying the teacher a car?
It's a huge level of wealth.
It's
Oh, they play like Saudi, Kuwait. They place their fucking crazy wealth, eh? Still
crazy
wouldn't live
wealthy,
there though.
But then there's massive
Aye. I'd
People
never
want
fucking.
for absolutely nothing.
Aye.
And I think there's like a hierarchy of like depending on where you're from or what colour your skin is.
Aye, they're horrible to black people, mate.
Like, depends on where you fit in this scale. Like,
Was there no some sort of thing with Filipino workers with them as well, building stadiums?
oh, they were dying, weren't they?
Aye, they were taking their passports off them and were basically like, nah, you just live and work here now. We'll let you go home when it's done. Can hire some foreign workers, mate. Get one in here.
Was this not to do with them building like an Olympic stadium?
It was the Olympics, eh?
Was it Qatar then?
Aye, they've got a fucking great human rights record as well. There we go, it's came up straight away. Look, Qatar migrant workers.
Just no giving a fuck, man.
But they get it done, eh?
What were they getting paid?
Fuck all, I think.
Around,
$206 a month.
well, in the blistering heat. And is that Ramadan as well?
And it'll be full, like, that's no just a wee day in the office. That's a day's graft, eh?
Right. 12 hours.
Heavy work. Hard labour. Might as well be in jail.
Wow.
Aye. Mad part of the world. It blows my mind sometimes that we see, like, us interacting with them so freely and then fucking slating them on the other one. But then, it's cool with the sport and that, though. See if you're going to finance, like, big things at Wembley. It's fucking cool. They'll overlook what you're being doing.
Do what you want.
Aye. Carry on.
Did you say, I looked up my notes here. I'd put a note in last week and I forgot all about it. Did you see the Dave Navarro, the guy for Jane's Addiction? The two of them rioting on stage? I meant to bring it up last week. So Dave Navarro used to be in Red Hot Chili Peppers. And then he left Red Hot. Well, he was kicked back out of Red Hot Chili Peppers. I think he was put in. I think he then went to Jane's Addiction. And the guy, Perry Farrell, ended up, when they were on stage last week, ended up going for him.
On his, so medical update. So he's actually hurt him.
Oh, I didn't look okay. Hurt him. You got that video up? You got it? Did you see this great guy? You must have been like, these guys are fucking idiots.
What's brought that on?
Don't know. Drugs. I'm going to say drugs.
Have you ever watched Ink Master?
Aye. He's the guy.
So Dave Navarro was a host for it of ages, and they always done like a live finale, and he would just do like mad shit. Like he would like connect hooks to fucking nipples and stuff like that, and like parasail into the live finale. So Dave Navarro was a bit of a character as well.
He was in Red Hot Chili Peppers, wasn't he?
Has he just gone and he die?
It wasn't him. It was the guy, Perry Farrell.
In Boston as well.
Like,
That place gets the cunts.
Just do his fucking dial.
Aye.
Then he's like, right, what you up to? Right. Fucking, I'm sick of your shit. He's like, come on.
Oh, it's bumped into him.
This will be what it was like in Oasis. He's like, right, calm down. Right, back to the home for you, you old dick.
He's having some kind of fucking episode here, eh?
Aye, so what medical,
Aye.
like, he's not done anything?
Dave Navarro is sober and has been for years. That guy's got a blue tick, I know.
That's
Back to Dana. Back to Dana, holding hands. Hello, gay boys.
So what's been happening? You get anything planned for this weekend?
I've just got court in the morning, mate.
You don't want to talk about that, do you?
I do.
Go for it.
I'll see cunts there. Get photos with you and that. Come and say hello at Edinburgh Sheriff Court. I'm there at 9:30.
Are you telling them why?
Assault to injury. I'm not laughing about it. It's a very serious matter.
I mean, the episode will be released after, so...
No, tomorrow's just what I'm going to decide to plead.
So
it's not my actual trial.
This potentially could be the last.
Aye.
This could be the last leather podcast.
Well, I'm out on bail on condition that I commit no further offences.
Well,
which obviously won't. And I'm glad I'm going to get to go to court and straighten out what happened. Tell my side of the story, and obviously, big, huge misunderstanding. You know, annoying that I like fucking joked about being arrested like 35 times recently on this podcast. And I've been arrested for years, fucking bang. Like 3 weeks ago, got picked up for the most trivial, stupid thing ever. And that's what annoys me about it. It's like Sean Strickland going off at Khalil there, like, you went and told the UFC. That's fucking what happened to me. Like, fully grown man went, oh, you can't fucking do that, after going about attacking people. So, very annoying. We're living in a soft ass society.
Will we be able to get the whole story once this is all straight?
Aye, once it's finished. I think I didn't see why I can't talk about it anyway, to be fair. A fucking guy leaned in, put his head on me, and I told him to take it off or he'd not have one.
And then
that's it.
He's went away greeting.
And I pushed him away. That's all I actually did. Pushed him with a fucking big open hand. And like,
surely there's cameras to
there is, aye. It'll be, but this is what the police do now. So I saw them on Saturday night with young guys. Boys that started fighting. I'm talking getting each other down the ground and booting each other in the head. Making the attempt to arrest them. Just leave them. Like, just actively walk down the road and act like they can't see them. Somebody was giving me shit on TikTok about this. I'm like, I've worked in city centres for like 15 years now. The police that they've got now are actually embarrassing people, eh? You can't depend on them to look after you, because what they're going to do is they're going to go, let's arrest the person who's not ran away or told us to fuck off. Mm-hmm. Because I'm at work, I can't just go, fuck you, I'm not cooperating with you, because they'll take your SI. They took my SI badge off me anyway. So I'm not fucking able to work either. But that's how they do things now. I'm going to end up going off on a tangent about like the online stuff, and it's because the reason they're taking that is because they can turn up at your house, arrest you, and go, look, there's exactly what you said, and arrest you for it. We had a New Year not long ago, and the police, this was only maybe 1 or 2 years ago, the police came to liquid rooms and said, don't phone us unless it's an immediate threat to life, because there's only 7 pairs of police officers for the whole of Edinburgh City Centre. That's so fucking the whole of Edinburgh City Centre. There's 7 pairs. It's fucking madness. I mean, I've been holding this in. So
just allowing them to do what they want, and
anyone can do
pick up the strays.
Anyone can do what they want, and they'll come along and pick up who doesn't run away.
Aye, who's probably the guy that's taking the bleaching.
Aye, usually.
And you're getting done for like some sort of fucking public.
There is still decent ones. There is still a few decent ones who are usually older guys, but I'm no surprised either, because who'd want to join them? Why would you want? The money's shite. The job's shite. They've got no, like, they didn't get the pension benefits and stuff they used to get. If they're trying to deal with something, the first thing someone's going to do is pull out their phone and start recording them and call them racist or call them homophobic or use these sort of slurs against them. And that's what's happened to me. You know, it's shite being on the other end of it. But anyway, that's my rant about it over. I've been hudding this in, eh? I feel...
See if we can get a hold of your picture,
my Pablo Escobar.
And get it made into a t-shirt.
They just stand you against a measure now. But
I know, but that'd be cool.
Aye.
Ask them, say, listen, under the Freedom of Information Act, I demand my, what would you call that, like my mugshot?
Aye.
Mugshot t-shirts coming your way, Leather.
It'd be cool as well, because...
Or, maybe no, because Leather might not be out.
I got arrested on the Saturday night, and they were renovating St Leonard's police station starting the Monday. So I would have been one of the last ones in the old custody desk. Hey. So right. That's it. But the guys in the guys at the actual station are sound. They're just like old boys at their work, telling cunts to shut up, who are screaming in the cells and that.
It must be a tragic thing in the Saturday night.
Aye. Oh, it's horrible. It's an actual zoo. But, on you go, mate. That's an hour, but I just... all right, let's go to Patreon and finish this here. I'll go into more detail on the Patreon. Let's go right over, aye.
Keep it high.